2, 1, go.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The forum is about to begin. Well, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum and very good morning to all of you. Welcome to the morning forum of today. So first of all, I would like to thank all of the audience in front of me. Thank you very much for attending the forum for today. Hi, my name is HASIIBAH and I will be your moderator for the day. Today's forum will be highlighting a topic that is quite interesting to be discussed on, and that is understanding of philosophical ideas in education and the impacts in improving the national education system. I am sure that every one of us has our own opinions and thoughts on our topic. And before we proceed with our forum, please do allow me to introduce our panelist line for today. First, we have Miss Venee Prasantini, a teacher at a well-known high school located in somewhere in Peninsula area, actually. So I will let Miss Venee present herself later. And the second speaker that we have in line, Miss Yvonne Chan, a lecturer at Institute of Teacher Education Malaysia, followed by Miss Chang Sing Yi, a lecturer at Sabah University. The next panelist in line is the Selangor State of Department Head, Mr. Boon Sheng. And last but not least, the fifth panel that we've been honored with and will be Ms. Lee Huan Xian, Curriculum Division Officer. Before we begin, let's delve into philosophical ideas. To set the stage for our forum, Mr. Boon Sheng, would you kindly do us the honor of sharing your expertise on this?
Okay. Thank you, Shiva, and a warm welcome to everyone. I would like to start by discussing the foundation of Malaysia's education system, the national education philosophy, or Falsafah Pendidikan Kebangsaan. This philosophy provides a clear vision for our education system, which is to foster the holistic development of students. It aims to produce individuals who are balanced in terms of intellectual, spiritual, emotional, and physical growth. A key aspect of the philosophy is the emphasis on moral and ethical values, grounded in belief in God, which reflects the diverse cultural and religious background of Malaysia. This approach ensures that education is not just about academic achievement, but also about character building. Students are encouraged to develop into responsible, well-rounded individuals who contributed positively to society. Now, one of the critical dimensions of this philosophy is multiculturalism. Malaysia is a multicultural society, and our education system reflects this diversity. The philosophy promotes inclusivity and understanding between various ethnic and cultural groups. It teaches students to respect and appreciate differences, fostering a sense of unity in diversity. This is essential for maintaining social harmony in a nation like ours, where we have many different languages, cultures, and religious beliefs coexisting peacefully. In essence, the national education philosophy not only aims to prepare students for academic success, but also to cultivate responsible citizens who can contribute to national unity and global understanding. By focusing on the holistic development of individuals and emphasizing multicultural values, our education system is designed to nurture the next generation of leaders who are not just knowledgeable, but also compassionate and ethical. Thank you. Back to you, Shiva.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sheng, for sharing with us the main philosophy of the national education system and hearing about the essence of multiculturalism in Malaysia education system without any doubt has definitely caused us to be more patriotic and believe in continuously living in harmony despite our differences in religion and races. As we have been enlightened on the national education philosophy and EP in short by Mr. Chan earlier, let us move on to our first panel in line, Miss Venee. Miss Venee, with your experience in teaching secondary school students, do you apply any philosophical ideas during lesson, and does it really brings any impact on the lesson quality of your students?
Thank you for your question, Ms. Shiba, and thank you for having me all. I think a thorough understanding of philosophical concepts in education is crucial for various reasons. Educators can use philosophies like constructivism, pragmatism, and critical pedagogy to develop lessons that align with curriculum standards and connect with students' real-world experience. Initially, comprehending these ideologies enables educators to establish a more comprehensive and diverse atmosphere. As an example, constructivist method promote active learning and teamwork, leading to the development of critical thinking skills and personal investment in the learning process itself. This in line with the national education philosophy, which focuses on nurturing individuals who can think critically and also innovate. And furthermore, integrating philosophical concept allows educators to contemplate their teaching methods by adopting critical pedagogy. We can question traditional power structures in the classroom. This allows students to express their thought, participate in important conversation, and increase their relevance of learning experience in their own life. When I teach, I like to incorporate philosophical concept, particularly constructivism and pragmatism. Uh, uh, I motivate my students to collaborate in team on assignments that address actual societal problems. For example, in the field of environmental science, we could examine regional environmental issues and come up with solution collaboratively. This it doesn't just enhance their grasp of topic, but also nurtures a feeling of empowerment in them. The effect of quality of the lesson is substantial. When students perceive the importance of what they are learning, they become more involved and driven. They understand better. So I observe that students retain information more effectively and cultivate critical thinking skills when they actively engage and relate their lessons to their own experience. So it is very crucial to incorporate philosophical concepts into our teaching methods to ensure that our education system reflects the goal of our nation, and it improves the quality of the lesson, and also it readies our student to be thoughtful, engage to the lesson, and make more meaningful contribution to the society. Yeah, that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Miss Winnie. That is very thoughtful insight that you have shared with us, and I'm keen to hear that the students have managed to grasp the knowledge that you have shared with them. Let us delve deeper through our forum discussion by seeking further insight from our next panel in line, Miss Yvonne Chan. Miss Yvonne, as the education system has becoming more challenging for the educators and the students in order to meet the demand of the 21st century skills, do you think that your students that are going to are going to be the next batch of educators are ready to tackle it?
Thank you for the insightful question, Ms. Shiba. Well, I'd like to begin by resonating some points made earlier by Mr. Chan, our State Department head, about Malaysia's education philosophy. Well, the philosophy aims to foster students intellectually, emotionally, and of course physically, with emphasis on ethical values based on the belief in God. Now, reflecting Malaysia's multicultural and religious tapestry, This key is not merely focused on academic success, but also nurturing holistic individuals who can play a positive role in contributing to society. Now, to connect the dots of Malaysia's NEP to Paulo Freire's banking concept of education, he heavily critiques the traditional method of teaching children where students are passive learners. Now, for the NEP to achieve its goals, it is critical that educators of the 21st century move beyond traditional teaching. And to address this problem, I believe a problem-posing approach is critical to engage students actively with concepts, think analytically, and apply their learning in the natural world. Now, as a lecturer preparing future teachers, I believe my students are gradually becoming more aware to the challenges in the education backdrop of the 21st century. But having said that, there's still a lot of work to be done to ensure that they are ready to undertake these challenges effectively. And from my perspective as a lecturer preparing future educators, I believe our students are gradually becoming more aware of these challenges, but there is still work to be done to ensure they are fully ready to undertake these challenges effectively. The integration of technology, the shift towards student-centered learning, and the demands for critical thinking and problem solving are significant areas where they need more practical experience.
So, thank you, Miss Yvonne. Actually, you did bring some sort of comfort with the audience and the society on your students' preparedness of tackling becoming the future educators, actually. But with that being said, are there any philosophical ideas that you deem to see one educator has to be excel in order to improve the education system?
Right. One philosophical idea I think is crucial for educators to become proficient at is constructivism. This idea is closely linked to Freire's problem-posing education, where learners are encouraged to think critically and actively. And this is where Benjamin Franklin's quote come in place. He says, "Tell me and I forget, teach me and I may remember, involve me and I learn." His philosophy also emphasizes that learning is not a passive process, but an active one. Now, this concept is resonated in Freire's problem-posing approach and many modern day instructional approaches. And to improve and align Malaysia's NEP with the current education system, educators should move beyond becoming depositors of knowledge. They have to involve their learners actively for them to have this opportunity to construct, deconstruct, and of course, reconstruct information. Teachers should actually act as facilitators to foster critical thinking, problem solving, and innovative skills, which are all key elements of the NEP. Now, in conclusion, educators who embrace these philosophical ideas will be better equipped to prepare their students to meet the 21st century demands while at the same time aligning to our NEP. Back to you, Shiba.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Miss Yvonne, on your passionate belief in your philosophical idea and dedicated teaching to our future generation of educators in life. Dear audience, as I believe that all of you perhaps may have been deeply inspired by Miss Yvonne's passionate teaching, let us continue this forum by addressing the next questions to our next panel in line, Miss Chang Xing Yi. Miss Chang, Miss Venee and Miss Chan earlier has both shared their own philosophical ideas that they have applied during their lessons. What's your thought on the concept of understanding philosophical ideas will help to improve the national education?
Thank you, Ms. Shiba. So the philosophical ideas provide a framework for understanding the complex issues related to ethics, logic, reasoning, and the pursuit of knowledge. When applied to education, we know that philosophy encourages critical thinking and reflections, helping the students move beyond rote memorizations to develop a deeper understanding of concepts. By engaging with philosophy, students can develop essential skills such as logical reasoning, problem solving, and moral reasoning, which are critical for navigating an increasingly complex and interconnected world. Philosophy also fosters an open-mindedness, and the ability to consider multiple perspectives, which is crucial for a diverse society. In the national education system, this helps students to understand and appreciate different cultures, viewpoints, and way of life, promoting social cohesion and global citizenship. Integrating philosophical ideas into national education offers a profound way to improve the quality of learning by fostering critical thinking, ethical reasoning, and practical problem-solving skills. Philosophical ideas that I usually apply are pragmatism and constructivism. Philosophers like John Dewey, who championed pragmatism, argued that education should focus on the practical application of knowledge to the real-world problem. Pragmatism promotes experiential learning, where students learn through doing rather than passively absorbing all the information. This approach fosters a sense of relevance and purpose in education, as students see how their knowledge actually can be applied in their daily life to solve all the practical problems. For example, during the science class, instead of just simply give education or teaching the student the theoretical concept of physics, a pragmatic approach would involve engaging students in experiments where they can observe these theories in action. For instance, students could design a simple machine to understand the principle of mechanics, thereby directly applying the knowledge they have learned to a tangible task. So a philosophical theory about learning developed by thinkers like Jean Piaget, which is the constructivism, holds that learners actively construct their own understanding of the world through experiences and reflections. Constructivism education emphasizes that students should be seen not as passive recipients of knowledge, but as active participants in the learning process, building their own understanding through interaction with all the materials. So for example, in a mathematics class, instead of lecturing students about the geometric theorems, a constructive approach might involve students working in groups to discover the properties of geometric shapes on their own through hands-on activity. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Chang, for your willingness in sharing your experience with us. I bet the audience in front of us will definitely have jot down some notes for their further applications. So next, let us move on by passing the floor to the next panel in line that we've been honored with, Mr. Chan Boon Sheng, the Selangor State Department Head. Mr. Chan, you have heard from the rest of the panel addressing their philosophical ideas. Do you think it is better to focus on one philosophy ideas or more in order to improve the education system of our country, Malaysia?
Yeah, thank you, Shiba, for your thought-provoking questions. From my opinion, when we consider the complexity of the education system in Malaysia, with its diverse student population and wide range of educational needs, I believe it is essential to draw on multiple philosophical ideas rather than relying on just one. First, let's take pragmatism, which emphasizes learning through experience and real-world application. This philosophy aligns perfectly with the demands of our fast-changing world. Our students must be able to apply their knowledge practically, whether they are solving problems in the classroom or contributing to society. By embracing experimental learning, we prepare students not just for exams, but for life. At the same time, constructivism, which highlights the importance of students actively constructing their own understanding through experiences, can significantly enhance how we teach. Instead of passively absorbing information, students become engaged learners, taking ownership of their educational journey. This approach aligns well with modern pedagogies, where we encourage inquiry-based learning and collaborative problem-solving. Moreover, multiculturalism plays a vital role in our education system. Given Malaysia's diverse cultural landscape, It is crucial that we instill in our students an understanding and appreciation of different cultures and perspectives. This philosophy not only promotes social cohesion, but also prepares our students to be global citizens. In conclusion, no single philosophy can address the multifaceted challenges of education in Malaysia. By combining these philosophies, pragmatism, constructivism, and multiculturalism, we create a more dynamic and responsible education system, one that not only imparts knowledge, but also shapes critical, ethical, and empathetic individuals who are ready to contribute to our society. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chan. It was quite interesting and definitely has caused the audience to self-ponder more on the idea of philosophy in education itself, and will definitely inspire the young educators to be better educators with the challenging demand in the coming future. So next, let us get into the future plan of our education system from the point of view of our next honorable guest panel in line, Ms. Lee Huan Shen. Ms. Lee, as the rest of the earlier panel has mentioned several philosophical ideas that they utilize to improve on the lessons, do you think a better understanding of philosophical ideas could improve the education system? And is there any ideas that you may include in the NEP and the impact that it may have towards our education system?
Hi, Shiba. Yes, most definitely agree with our panels for their invaluable insights and in-depth explanation on the definition of philosophical ideas in education. Now, in Malaysia, we are still working towards constant improvements in areas of how knowledge is being delivered to students. It is imperative that everyone involved in the education sector becomes aware, is able to cope with society's ever-changing demands on how the next generation receives adequate advanced learning in order to be seen as successful as our counterparts in neighboring countries. Especially Singapore, they are known to be leading in every sector. Needless to say, we are proud Malaysians who are able to be a part of such hardworking education providers to demonstrate our strong will to improve, and our efforts will not cease until we obtain the honors of higher standard there is in the sector. However, given Malaysia's current education system, we face multiple challenges in keeping up with global education changes, to include the latest academic findings in our textbooks. Looking at how Paulo holds firm on his belief, is now making sense to adapt to our ever-changing academic content. Paulo believes in empowering students to question societal norms and encourages students to engage in discussions about social justice. His idea seeks to make paths in the system so educators can make learning more meaningful, while they encourage students to become active community participants. And I also agree with Chan about Malaysia's diversity. Cultural education is essential. This approach ensures that all students see their cultures represented in the curriculum, fostering understanding and respect. Chan had also mentioned constructivism is needed as it encourages learners to actively build their understanding through experiments such as implementing project-based learning, which allows students to explore more real-world problems, which in turn develops their critical thinking and problem-solving skills. Multicultural education has always been included in one of our textbooks to ensure every student is aware of such diverse cultures. What we are slowly but actively encouraging and including in the textbooks and activity books used in schools are project-based learning. It is taking time to implement due to restricted hours of lessons, but rest assured as it is ongoing. That is all for me. Thank you very much for having me here.
Thank you very much, Miss Lee. Okay, it's quite refreshing to hear from your thoughts itself. So, dear beloved audience, we have heard several philosophical ideas from pragmatism, constructivism, and multiculturalism, or even applying all those into a one combination of package into the lesson plan. And I do hope that your time that you have spent with us by attending these forums early in the morning will definitely has been fruitful for your future application. With that said, our time with our distinguished panel member has come to an end, and I will extend my gratitude and warmest thanks to all our 5 speakers for your willingness to spend your time and share your expertise with the audience. Once again, thank you so much, and thank you to the audience for your active participations and your willingness to be listening to our forums and attending these forums itself. Without your focus and interest on our discussed topic, the forum will not be having been ended successfully. Thank you very much once again. Assalamualaikum, and have a wonderful day ahead and have a safe journey home. Thank you.